we mentioned last week about we have never seen so many shit teams in the NFL at the same time. So we thought we'd do a little power rankings or anti-power rankings. Some say shower rankings to find out who the worst team in the NFL are officially. So are we going to do this from the 10th worst down to the worst?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, okay. Can I have?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So can I do a couple of honourable mentions? Because there were so many shit teams that when I was putting my list together, I ended up with 12. So there were two teams who weren't quite bad enough to get in, but I think are worthy of a mention because
they might be in ours.
Bad. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say my two that haven't made it actually. So this is the level of teams that I think.
I just don't think you can count to 10.
No, I can count to 12, so I'm all right. My two teams who I didn't quite squeeze into it, I have the Bears and the Colts. It's not quite getting into this.
Oh, one of those makes mine. One of those teams makes
mine as well.
But there wasn't much in it, to be honest. Okay, so I'll start with my 10th worst team. I've got the New Orleans Saints, currently 3-7. I've said difficult to rate with all the injuries, but with everyone available, I'd have them with a losing record.
Oh, did we need reasons?
No, that's what I've done.
Well, I've got no reasons, but my 10th is Indianapolis.
Oh, that's interesting because you've gone for the Indianapolis Colts and I've gone for the Bears.
Yeah. Oh, honourable mentions.
Yeah.
So there you go. We're all like similar ballpark on there, isn't it?
Mm.
All right. My 9th worst team, and I might be being generous here. I've got the New York Jets, just because the players they've got, they should be better. So they're underachievers, but I don't think they're worst. I think they're just playing a lot worse than they should be. But they're 3-7, and that's a fucking disgrace for that roster of players. So Jets at 9.
I got the Saints at 9.
It's interesting, isn't it? I think Saints I've not even got Saints in my bottom 10. Don't even have them in my 10. So
they were the ones that nearly were replaced by like the Bears or the Colts, because you have to take the injuries into account with them, don't you? And but that's not what this is about.
Okay, number 9. My number 9. Dallas Cowboys.
Fuck off. It's definitely going to be that high. I think that's a window into who's 32nd in mine. They're not. No.
Okay. 8th worst team. I've got the Dallas Cowboys. I have a little note here. Are we seeing the collapse of a franchise?
I'll tell you, it's interesting, G. You went for the Jets at 9. I went for Cowboys. I've done the reverse on this. I've actually gone for the Jets this time.
Yeah, well, it's all these 3-win teams, isn't it? There's not a lot to separate them.
Well, funny enough, I've also got the Jets at 8th.
Very good.
So 7.
So you've got all right, so my 7 are the Patriots. I say not a good team by any stretch. Drake May has shown sparks, and their defense is arguably the best of those on this list.
I've gone the Titans.
Okay.
I've also gone for the Patriots. They are capable of grinding out a win or two, as we've seen. And they beat Cincinnati, didn't they? I know it was first game of the
year. They're definitely a grind.
Yeah.
They're definitely a grind.
So I just think they've got the potential to grind a win or two out, whereas ones following this probably.
Okay, so this shows the standard, I think, is that my 6th worst team are the Jaguars. It shows the standard of the other teams on this. Only because I'm not a huge fan of Lawrence. I think he's regressed. He probably had like one season where he played like 10 good games. But there's a couple of like promising players at the Jags, literally a couple. But he's not one of them, and they've got him for another 4 years.
I've just gone this time. I've gone Patriots. And I thought I've gone quite high with the Patriots, and they could have been a lot more low down. But I think with Drake May, with the defense, like you said, G, Patriots have just got a little bit of glimmer there. You don't go into a game now on a Sunday thinking that they're going to get absolutely hammered. They might get beat, but they won't get hammered.
Yeah, I think they've only had a couple of heavy defeats this season.
I've also got the Jags here as well. Pretty much what G says. They've got the potential, kind of like the Jets, and on paper you'd think that they're capable.
The Jets are more. Their players are probably more disappointing because they're established more than the Jags ones. Yeah. Okay, so we're into our bottom five. My fifth worst team are the Browns. Watson has been a disaster, financially screwed until 2027. O-line non-existent, nothing from skill players. Defense hasn't been at last year's level. Apart from that, they're doing fine.
Yeah, that tells you everything you need to know about Browns in a nutshell. But I've gone here after their outstanding win in overtime. I've gone for the Carolina Panthers. For the first time, maybe the second time this season, I see something in this Panthers team and I think, do you know something? On any given Sunday, they can get close-ish against a really shit team, or if not win. And Bryce Young,
I think it sounds like you're talking into them into an even lower position.
And I'm thinking that. I'm thinking this. Have I gone too high? So I'm thinking, I think they're sticking with Bryce at quarterback because why would they change it to the red ribbon around the old oak tree? The running game's coming together. They can just get a little bit of consistency on the D side. I think Panthers will win a few more games. So, yeah, I'm going to go Panthers there.
And you want that overachiever point?
Correct, as well.
I've also got Carolina here. And interestingly, I've not got Cleveland in my 10 at all.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, Carolina, I think if New England have got the potential to grind teams down on their defensive side of things, Carolina might just have enough of a spark to get more of an output, more of wins than the next four I'm gonna mention.
No, it's very good. Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Surprise on the Browns though, not being in the top 10, Edgy.
Yeah. I mean, the fact I've got them fifth worst. Was that just an oversight?
No. If anything, they were on the list, but I think the Watson they weren't playing for him.
No, they weren't. You're right.
And I think now that all right, Winston's probably not the savior that they need, but there's enough of a level to get out of the team to get them winning. Perhaps if you ask me next week and they get hammered, it might have changed the opinion. But I think that there's enough in them to. Don't get me wrong, they're not going to be playing.
Well, you backed them to win this weekend as well.
Yeah.
So that's it. The Browns, your team in the AFC North. Is that what it's?
Who else is in that league? AFC North.
I think it was
Bengals.
Bengals. I think Bengals now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, my fourth worst team are the Titans. I said I thought they'd be quite bad, but not as bad as most predicted. But it turns out most were right. The trade deadline suggested that they've given up this year. They pretty much have, I think.
I agree with that. My fourth worst one are the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a franchise that should be so much better with all the first round and second round high picks they've had over the past 5, 6, 7 seasons, and they just continue to just be rubbish. This is the most disappointing franchise I think ever in NFL history.
Pre-season, they were predicted to be the team running the Texans closest.
Correct, and it's just get us into the proper season, and they go to. I think they should call them Jigsaw because they go to absolute pieces. Shit house.
All right, young man. I've also gone for the Titans, primarily because I think the next three this is going to be a common theme now. The next three are even shitter.
No, I've got one that you two have already done still down here. So my third worst team are the Panthers.
Harsh.
2 wins on the bounce, which has bumped them off the bottom of this list. But still so much wrong with this franchise on both sides of the ball and in the front office.
I've gone for the Cleveland Browns, and that's because Browns could have gone anywhere from, in my eyes, Edgy, and obviously not yours. Browns could have gone anywhere from number 2 to about number 6 or 7, but Browns, on the reason also with G, so much money tied up in a quarterback that probably won't even see the field next season.
And the season after that.
And the season after that, possibly, yeah. Ever again at Cleveland. I think they're in so much trouble, the Browns, everywhere. I think this is going to be rebuilding the Browns. So that's number 3 for me.
Just looking at the existing power rankings as of this week, yeah, they are currently 26th. So I might have.
Whose power rankings are those? Is that on the NFL one?
Yes.
Okay.
So perhaps I've overestimated them,
Hopefully.
but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so who's your third worst? Yeah.
Third worst. I'd really like to put Dallas in the bottom 2, but my bottom 2, not even I can make a case to say that they're going to beat Dallas. So
I mean, unless someone's done something very strange, I think we've all got the same bottom 2.
I think so, yeah. So I'm going Dallas because they're
apparently they've had loads of injuries.
Oh, have they?
No other team has injuries.
No, of course not.
Apparently, I'm not sure if it's true, but Dak Prescott's out now for the rest of the season because he rubbed his ball sack all over something. I'm not sure what it was.
I only rubbed it so hard, you spunked loads of money over them.
Yeah, exactly that.
And the Call of Duty's out as well.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see which way around we've all got.
I've heard they're going to sign Luke Shaw.
Well, I think that's it. I think you're right because he's not been seen since 2022.
No.
Okay. Second worst team. I've gone for the New York Giants. They obviously need to address their quarterback problem. Neighbors and Tracy could be future stars. Both lines need a lot of work, but they need a huge rebuild once Jones is ditched.
Yeah, I've got Giants on sort of number 2. Funny thing is, I do think they've got a good head coach. I just think he's no, they've got a good head coach.
You're GM, Edgy.
You're the GM.
Sorry, I get mixed up.
What they don't have is a good GM.
To be fair, I can't even remember his fucking job title.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And this is where they've gone wrong.
Yeah.
I think they need a clear out there, but I would give the head coach another season or 2 there. I like his ethos on how he plays football. I don't think Brian Dable is the problem. I think the quarterback's a problem. They'll get rid of that and creates a new problem. But like you said there, they've got neighbours, they've got Tracy, 2 young lads, and they do have 1 or 2 other promising players. So they can't get any worse than the Giants. You know what I thought so?
I reckon
It could be the Raiders.
I reckon the issue there is with the front office. Could you see them doing something sensible?
No, that's the problem, isn't it? Nothing sensible.
Okay,
well, after you comment about the GM in second place, I'd love to put Washington. I'm not. I'm obviously going to put the Giants.
Yeah,
because they are not as bad as the Raiders.
Yeah.
You've given us a clue there. I don't even know. I don't know if Daz is going to pick up on that hint as to what you've gone for. Okay, so my ranking on the worst team in the NFL at the moment, I've got the Las Vegas Raiders. So hard to believe this mess of a team beat the Ravens. They have no obvious.
These rankings are for the end of the season, aren't they?
No, they're what we think at the moment.
Oh, piss.
No, come on.
They're power rankings. They mean nothing. They're just opinions today.
Ah, right. Okay, I misunderstood.
I mean, to be honest, Edgy, you're bottom of our predictions league. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
That's probably why I didn't put Cleveland in, because I thought they were going to get themselves out of it.
No, it's
as is. I know it's the 10 worst teams at the moment.
So. Yeah. Right. Okay.
To be fair, you've still got everything in there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So hard to believe this mess of a team beat the Ravens. They have no obvious starting quarterback to get Bowers involved more. Crosby wants out. Take those two out. You've got a roster of nobodies. That's me being kind to the Raiders.
Well, my worst team. I don't want to say this, but I'm going to have to do. I know I've already said them, but the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, they're in twice.
They're in that bad. They're in twice. No, it's got to be Raiders as well. You know, they've got rid of Devontae Adams. Like you said, they've got so many players who probably don't want to play for them. Yeah, they've got Brock Bowers, but since when does a good tight end win you anything? Yeah, they're
But maybe if they get the ball to him more.
that's the one they've got to do. But for that, they need a starting quarterback, not just a bunch of second choice quarterbacks.
They have
fired
fired
all
their
the
OC.
second choice.
They fired their OC apparently, haven't they?
They did, yeah. Scott Turner, yeah. Last week I mentioned that Scott Turner is now defensive coordinator there, the former commander. They were terrible for us.
It'll be interesting, although I misunderstood the remit here. Be interesting to see how far off I am at the end of the season.
I don't think you'll be far away. So I think
I'm doing the
close
calculations now.
Yeah,
but
I think we've got quite a few close ones.
We've got most of the same teams in our 10, but it's officially the Raiders are the worst team in the NFL.
Straight away, bang.
Giants
number 2.
Giants number 2, yeah. The fact that we all agreed on that. But there's not that much difference. It might be like a place or two.
Yeah.
One of the biggest discrepancies is Cowboys are the 8th, 9th, and 3rd worst team.
Yeah.
But Panthers are probably 3rd worst. Looking at this, Titans just below them. The Browns have been saved by Edgy somewhat.
Yeah, really have. Yeah. Just a matter of interest. If you knew the proper remit, where would Browns have gone in your list, Edgy?
I would have probably bumped, if we're doing it now, I would probably have bumped out. I suppose I'd have to have dropped the Colts out. Yeah, probably put them, because I still think that there's potential there. So probably just a straight swap and put them in 10, because I can't be asked to think about where else. Are they worse than the Jets?
I think that the only reason, if it was on performances so far this year, the Jets should be lower on all our lists.
Yes.
But it's because they've got good players that they were kind of giving them a bit of the benefit of the doubt.
A bit of false hope.
Just to say that they could turn it on next week and beat someone. And you can't say that for a lot of
they could get twatted by someone.
They just did get twatted as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just having a look at what our 5 was. Official 5. And 5th place, we've got the Jags. 4th place, we've got the Titans. 3rd, we've got the Panthers. Then we've got the Giants in 2nd. But yeah, we all think the worst team in the NFL are the Raiders.